The general area of research pursued in my lab is protein design and engineering. And so, as you probably know, proteins are the ultimate miniature machines. They can do all sorts of amazing things in our body. And what we're trying to do is learn how to make new proteins that do things that maybe you wouldn't see naturally occurring proteins do. And we're interested in this problem for a number of reasons. One, it's the ultimate test of our understanding of protein function and energetics. People often say you don't really understand something until you can make it yourself. And then two, by being able to make new proteins, you can create molecules that have very important applications in research and medicine. So one example of important protein we've been working on is a collaboration with a group at the pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly, where we're aiming to create a new type of antibody called a bispecific antibody, where one arm of the antibody can recognize cancer cells and the other arm can recognize cells in your immune system, T cells. And by doing so, that molecule can recruit your immune system to fight your cancer. And so it's a new type of cancer therapy called immunotherapy, which is really enabled by the work that we're doing in protein design. One of the things that was really important to my career was that at one of the transition points, so between going from a graduate student to a postdoc, I made the choice to go into an area of research that was quite a bit different than what I was doing as a graduate student. So as a graduate student, all my work was in the area of experimental biochemistry, studying how proteins fold. And in my postdoc, I decided I wanted to learn how to do molecular modeling, how to actually model proteins and work entirely on the computer. And so before my postdoc, I really hadn't done much computational work. And I was pretty nervous about going into this new field, but my new advisor, he was very encouraging, and he said, you know, it might take you a little longer to get up to speed, but I have no doubt that you can do it. And so making that transition into a whole new technique, a whole new field of research, really opened up a lot of possibilities in the types of projects that I could do and the type of science that I could do. For many of us, that's most obvious if we just think back to the mentors that we've had. And so I've had some wonderful mentors throughout my career. My graduate advisor was just starting his lab. I was the first batch of graduate students to work in his lab. And the thing that he did that I always hope to do in my own lab is that he really tried to make us excited about the projects that we were working on. He was continually coming up with new ideas for the project, relating the project to what other people in the field were doing so that we could really see why what we were doing was important. And so when I think about mentoring students in my lab, that's really what I would like to achieve. I'd like people to be coming into lab not because, you know, I tell them that you need to be in lab every day, but rather because they want to be there to do the experiments that they're doing because they're really excited about the work that they're doing.